Hey guys, it's Coco Yogi and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm coming to you from a boat in beautiful Maui, Hawaii, and we're gonna be going free diving today. If you don't know, free diving is kind of like scuba diving, but not really, because you're going to the bottom or to wherever you can reach on a single breath of air. There's a lot of technique involved in free diving, and today I'm gonna be sharing with you an exercise called line diving, which will help you reach greater depths while free diving. This is gonna be a lot of fun. I actually just got my level 1 free diving certification, so I'm a little more equipped than before to show you what this is all about. Let's get in the water. So right now I'm tying something around this at a certain depth so that when I'm diving, I'm gonna be able to know how deep I am. And normally you would use tape, but I went to the store and they didn't have tape, so I got these little flowers with hair ties on them, and I think that'll work just fine. All right, you guys, we've stopped the boat, we're done cruising, we've found a depth that we like, which is probably the most important part. We've chosen our dive site. We're gonna drop an anchor, drop a line, and get ready to go diving. But first, we're going to get suited up. If it was a normal day in Hawaii or we were somewhere else in the world, I might choose a full wetsuit, but it is so warm and sunny and beautiful today that I'm not gonna do the normal full 2-piece dive suit. I'm just gonna do a rash guard. This is a rash guard. It's just a nice like long sleeve, tight layer to keep my skin nice and warm, but nothing on my legs. I did bring a second option though, but it got nice and warm out, so I'm gonna forego it, but this is my little short suit that I would wear if it were a little bit more chilly today. I've also got my second piece of freediving equipment, which is my fins. These are much different than regular snorkeling or scuba diving fins because they're very long. They are a little bit flexible, which allows you to get big strokes and go much farther on just a single pump than you would with regular fins. So freediving fins come in a lot of different flexibility levels and different materials. These ones are plastic, so they're extra reef safe because they're a little bit softer than a material like carbon fiber or fiberglass, which are awesome, really high performance, but also really expensive and maybe not the best choice for a fragile reef. I've got 2 more super important things for freediving or any type of diving for that matter: your mask and your snorkel. Even when you're freediving or scuba diving, you still need a snorkel because if you are in trouble near the surface or you're just getting ready to dive and you're looking around at where you want to go, you can keep your head in the water while still breathing out of the snorkel. Now this one's mine. It's got full visibility because of all of this nice like glass and clear material on the side, so I can see all around. But for freediving, it's actually better to have a mask like this. This one is what we call a low profile. There's very little air inside here, and so when the pressure changes and you go down, you don't have to do very much equalization to change the pressurization of your mask against your face. So I might borrow this one, but I'm also super comfortable with my own mask. Even though it's not low profile, it's got very high visibility, so I like that. Okay, last 2 pieces of equipment here. I've got my dive buoy. This is perhaps the most important thing you could have while freediving. It lets people know that you are beneath the surface. It should at least have some red. I like that this one is fabric because it'll dry nicely. It's super high quality, and it's got a lot of spaces on the outside for you to hold on after you finish with your dive so that you can take your recovery breaths. And it's got a place to put our dive line. This is our dive line. This is really exciting. A dive line is just gonna wanna be the depth that you think you're diving, probably a little extra if you might need it. And then if you're like me and you're gonna be doing an exercise for depth, you're gonna put something at each depth to be able to understand while you're diving where you are in the water. So finally, we've got weights for the bottom of our dive line. I've got 3 5-pound weights here, and they've got little loopies on the end so that I can hook my dive line through them and create a little daisy chain that'll keep it nice and anchored at the bottom. And I've put little flowers along in increments, like I said, so that I can tell how deep I am while I'm diving. So I'm gonna check and see how deep we are right now, and then I'm gonna put these weights on at that depth, and I'm gonna drop it like an anchor, and we'll get ready to dive. All right, we've got everything ready and we're all set to go in the water. My line is dropped, my buoy is waiting, and I'm just gonna get on my rash guard, my fins, and my mask, and we'll get good to go.
All right, so I just did 6 recovery breaths, and then I gave an okay symbol to let my dive buddy know that I was safe at the surface.
All right, guys, we're back on the dock. That was such a fun boat day. I had such a great time practicing my freediving and explaining to you everything that I do to work on my depth. We kept all the safety protocol. We had our buoy, our line, our depth markers, and we took all our recovery breaths afterward. That was super fun. So I hope you learned something awesome about freediving today. If you ever want to try it, you'll know what to start with. Thank you again for watching. My handle is Coco Yogi on all platforms. Make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you again next time. Bye.